Good morning, my impatience. It is I, Andrew the Android Koloski here. So I was going back and I was looking at social media content, and it really seems like the pharmacological abuse was orchestrated and premeditated by my mother and stepfather. It seems like they did it to me. And, frankly, I want them to confirm and corroborate. I want them to communicate and tell me what they've done. I want them to tell me the truth. I think they had premeditated intentions to over medicate me with a mega regimen of psychiatric medications. And I also think they had premeditated intentions to get me to take HIV PrEP. But, like I said, is it true? Somebody says, TV says, they think you'll explode in a fury of righteous anger. Is it true? I want communication and accountability. Just tell me the truth, no matter how bad it is. I want honesty and transparency. Is it true? Just tell me the truth. I'm more angry at the betrayal and the lies. Just tell me just be honest with me. I'm gonna share with you an artwork. Dr. Natural says, I noticed you're getting along better with your parents. What's changed? I asked myself, what's my role in our fights? It's protesting that they tell me the truth. Even if they are lying, which I'm being led to believe they aren't, it's just ruining my happiness. Try to accept they're being honest and transparent with me. I'm not a laughing stock. Basically, I don't want to feel like a fool. I want to feel like they're being honest and transparent with me. I don't want to be a fool for trusting them. I want to feel like the reason I'm trusting them is because they're telling me what they've done. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, guys? I just want the truth. I just want the truth. All right, so I'm gonna go on to another one here. I say to Dr. Natural, I feel like everyone is insulting me behind my back. I feel like my parents, family, and friends say I'm a monster in secret. They scapegoat me, gossip about me, villainize me, but are nice to my face. They act nice to my face. And Dr. Natural says, even if they are sadistic monsters behind their masks, they're behind you for a reason. Just communicate the truth. That's what I feel. And the last one. Everywhere I go, I feel like I have a spotlight on me. In public, I feel like a deer caught in headlights, anxious, so I hide at home alone. At home, I feel like my parents analyze everything I do under a microscope and there's no calmness. Dr. Natural says, you're in a constant state of panic, so you began living in a solitary daydream world. And I'm going to go over a green bunny. Squid, who's Otto Greenberg's white trash, blue collar friend from the supermarket, he says, I am tough. I was strong in the flesh, but weak in the spirit. So Squid is tough because he's able to get into fights and beat people up. Squid says, now I am strong in both the flesh and spirit. But Otto, you're weak in the flesh and spirit. Otto says, can't you be strong in the flesh if you're intelligent? And Dr. Natural says, it does not sound like the person insulting you is very smart, just opinionated. So obviously Squid, is opinionated about religion and, but yeah, he's insulting Otto. He's calling him weak in not only his body, but also in, the spirit. And he's saying how great he is, how he's strong physically, but also spiritually. And that's the artwork. What do you think, guys? TV says it's exceptional artwork. It's exceptional artwork. Thank you, TV. Thank you. And I'll go over this one too. So Squid says, I'd rather be hanging out with my cooler friends. And Otto says to Squid, if you don't want to be here, just go home. And Squid says, see ya, I have plans with a sexy lady this evening. And Dr. Natural says, try to meet not fair weather friends, people who really care about you. You know, TV says, I remember the days when we used to have 3 lives a day. How come I don't go live much anymore? Well, maybe it's because I'm getting a life. I'm starting to socialize with people. I'm starting to... there's really no reason for it. I guess it's a good thing. I mean, getting off social media and living in the real world, I guess that's progress, right? So what have I been up to? Socializing with friends, going to therapy, going to art class, going to NAMI, those kind of things. Going to the gym. You know, the sauce says, Andrew, professional wrestling promos are your next phase. You need to go on wrestling like rants. You know, we need to get you in the wrestling ring. I'm 38 years old and my body hurts. People don't typically make it in the wrestling industry at 40 years old. It's a young man's sport. It's a 20 and 30-year-old's sport, primarily, unless you're established like John Cena. But, you know, somebody says 38 is a very late start for a wrestling career. It is pretty much unheard of. Aside from maybe Diamond Dallas Page, it's basically unheard of. But that's because, you know, WCW didn't really care. Aside from possibly Diamond Dallas Page, nobody gets a start at like 40. You know, so la 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 la. Somebody says, have you been chatting with any women online? Yeah, I guess so. I'm on Bumble. I'm on Tinder. But nobody really communicates with me. Nobody really chats with me. I send some messages, but I'm kind of dabbling. I'm kind of half invested in it. I'm not really very invested in it. So, you know, I think the reason why I think my parents are lying is the social media content and the photographs. Maybe it's ideas of reference delusions, but they really look suspicious to me. It looks like they're confessing they're going to do it prior to doing it, you know? Maybe it's ideas of reference delusions, but if it's not, just tell me the truth, you know? Just tell me the truth. At this point, I just want honesty and transparency, you know? Somebody says, explain the content step by step to you. Well, I'm not going to share the photographs because there's people in the photographs I don't want you to see. But like, for example, a photograph from 2013, you see my mother and grandmother dressed in blue, and there's like a caution wet floor sign by the bathrooms, and it looks like they're doing the Owen Hart thing, blue blazer. It looks like they're saying they're going to throw debris, you know, at an upscale lounge, and it's going to be like the blue blazer. Somebody says that would be a pretty long con. It would be a pretty long con. Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, if they did it, just tell me. But maybe they didn't. Maybe they are being honest with me. Somebody says that's like 7 years before the incident. That's like a really long con. Really think about it. Maybe they're saying, obviously, you became the blue blazer because of your running, and from 2005 to 2011. Maybe it was a reference to what actually had transpired, rather what was going to transpire. You know what I mean? I automatically, think, oh, it's a reference to something they're going to do to me in the future. Maybe they're saying, the suffering I lived through already was like the blue blazer, being hospitalized in 2011. So obviously, if you see something in a photograph, you automatically assume it's a reference to some, what you want to focus on. Like they say, if you focus on the monkey, like sometimes you're so focused. Like there's a video of people playing ball, and they're throwing a ball around, and in the middle of the video, a monkey comes and pounds his chest. But if you're counting the people throwing the ball, sometimes you miss the monkey in the middle, and you're so focused on HIV scare, PrEP, that everything kind of is related to that, and you just miss the obvious that it has not. Does that really make sense to you? And somebody says, do you think your mother even knows who the fuck Owen Hart in the blue blazer is? That's another point. Yeah, I mean, that fair point. Sometimes you're so focused and you miss the monkey in the middle that they weren't planning something 7 years in the past. And if you want to see something, it's kind of like the picture. Like if you want to see something in a photograph so badly, you can convince yourself it's there, even when it's not there. That would be an ideas of reference and predicate logic delusions. So maybe they are being honest and transparent with me. Maybe just toggle the switch to off, get along with my parents, accept they're being honest, accept there's nothing to confess to. If I later find out they're making a fool of me, well, I'm going to be angry, but just rest assured that they're being honest and transparent with me. Toggle the switch to off. Somebody says, you were so focused on the blue blazer, you didn't stop to ask, does your mother even know who the blue blazer is? Let's see if I can find the photograph. I'll see if I can find the photograph here. It's 2013. I definitely have the photograph, but there's an ex-girlfriend in the photo who I don't want to share. I think it's at my cousin's wedding. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, let's see if I can quickly crop the photo here. I'll crop my ex-girlfriend out of the photo. I'm not going to do that. But yeah, it seems like they were it seems like they were referencing something. So it says, do it in MS Paint. Yeah, okay. La 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 la. So this is a photograph. Okay, let's try to crop my ex-girlfriend out of the photo. Okay, the wedding, September 2013. Open. Okay. Open with paint. Okay. It didn't. Okay, yeah. So I successfully cropped my ex-girlfriend out of the photo. Save as JPEG. A JPEG. I saved it as a JPEG. Say okay. So now I'll share with you. I'll share with you the photo. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So basically, my grandmother's reaching in the blue blazer attire for my foot, and it sounds like like Owen Hart, in the background here. The Owen Hart. He wore the caution attire. I don't know. Maybe I was reading too much into this photograph. Maybe it's just a photograph of my mother and grandfather at my cousin's wedding. Maybe it's predicate logic and ideas of reference. And, and I'll share with you the reason I think they did it. So this is a photograph. I thought it was me with Taylor Swift. It's my mother's painting. Me on a beach with a supermodel girlfriend. But the more I think about it, I think this looks more like, my stepsister, and it looks like I'm being arrested, hands behind my back. So I think that's the reason they did it, because of the intergender wrestling. That's my theory, and this picture took place in November 2020. That's just my theory. This is how I see it. I asked my mother in this photograph to draw me with Taylor Swift or a supermodel girlfriend. But yeah, I think she was really painting my stepsister in this photograph. And my hands are behind my back, so it looks like I'm getting arrested, I don't know. So maybe they did it to me. Maybe they did it to me. Maybe they did it to me with premeditated intentions. If they did, I want them to take accountability and be honest and transparent with me. But I don't think they're going to do that. And there's a lot more photographs like that. I'm not going to, there's people in the photographs that I don't want to share and so on. But, all right, so I got the art class today. That was a good illustrating the way my mind works. La 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 la. Somebody says Taylor Swift was born a man. Somebody says, did Dr. Garrett often ever watch your content? I think he definitely did. Because he often knew, things about my social media content, and would often say it was kind of like a sensationalistic performance, like a professional wrestling performance. So I think he definitely watched it, and I think he definitely was, investigating me on social media, so to speak. He didn't share with me what exactly he saw. I sent him a lot of it too, but I think he was watching it. Yes, I really do. He didn't really say that though, but I just kind of have a good feeling he was. Jack says, I can't wait till Andrew is famous. Yeah, Jack. I hope to get, maybe not the fame part, everybody obsessed with you, but definitely eating delicious foods and eating and having romance and sex again. That would definitely be nice. Eating some yummy food and having sex. That's really what I want from the fame. I would like some nice like foods prepared by master chefs. My mother cooks me the same bland shit every night. The food is kind of garbage I'm eating. So I mean, just some yummy food and uh, a girlfriend who I have sex with. That's all I want in life. Somebody says, I see not just famous, I see superstardom in your future. I hope. That might be fun. That might be fun. That might be fun. We got a man here who wants to have romance with me. It seems like I attract the men a lot. A lot of the men seem to like me, but not so much ladies. Not so much ladies. You know. So, is there any theories as to why that is? Yeah, I think because I'm a 38-year-old disabled adult child who's dependent on my parents, who doesn't have any money. I don't think it's my looks. I think my looks are actually very good. And the mental illness, the severe mental illness and schizoaffective diagnosis, and the spicy content I create, and my artwork, and my social media. I think there's a multitude of things that scare women away. I think there's a multitude of things. So I don't really want. I'm not really into men. I'm into women. Somebody says, if you were to get romantic with a man, would it be an older man? I mean, obviously everybody knows because I'm a deaf child and my mother takes care of me. Maybe I need somebody who's motherly or parental like. So they're like, would you like an older man? But frankly, I like ladies. I like women. You know, I don't really want to really have sex with a man. You know, that's just not my cup of tea. If it's your cup of tea, that's cool. But uh, that's just not my cup of tea. You know, some people like intimacy with men. That's not. And my mother, if you've ever seen the gay sex video, my mother's like, I won't let you have sex with a man in my house. Yeah, I'm not into men, not into men really. You're not dating a man in my house, Andrew. I think my father would be more open minded, but then again, I'm not into men, so it doesn't even matter. It's hypothetical. I think my father would be more open minded, hypothetically speaking, if I were gay. But also, it's nothing to worry about. Because believe me, I like the ladies. Or the bitches, as my barber calls them. He really does, by the way. He really does call the ladies the bitches. He once told a family member of mine, "You got to go up to the ladies and just be aggressive and just grab them by the tits." And He's like, that'll get you arrested. I know what he was trying to say. He was trying to say, like, be confident, go up and talk to the ladies. But if you actually went and grabbed the ladies by the tits, that's like Donald Trump grabbed them by the you know what. That will get you arrested. Like, I get what you're trying to say. Be confident. Don't be so socially awkward. Don't be anxious. I get he was making a joke, but yeah, that's not good advice. Don't go and grab the ladies by the tits. That's bad advice. Very bad advice. That will get you. That will get you. I mean, some ladies like that, maybe, but most don't. So he says, "Is the wash nearly done? We got 10 minutes left on the dryer." He says, "Where is Rusty these days?" I'm assuming he's busy with his own life, and it has nothing to do with me. His absence. I got no. I mean, some people, get upset with me, but I'm assuming he's just busy with his own life. It has nothing to do with me. So he says, everybody always misquotes Trump on the grab them by the pussy quote. He says, if you have money, ladies always let you grab them by the pussy. Yeah, I mean, I think, I think, I don't know. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't really know how to elaborate on that. Because it's true, they do. But every lady's different. Every lady's different. So he says, they let you just insert the money. Hey, Cody, she says, hey, Andrew, I hope your day is going well. My day is going well. Somebody says, yeah, I mean, I'm about to go to an art class. I'm about to see some friends there. It's gonna be a nice day. I hear some landscapers outside my apartment. It's not my stepfather, by the way, scaring me and intimidating me and making me anxious. It's actual landscapers. Somebody says, actually, believe it or not, loud noises do make me anxious and make me walk on eggshells. Interestingly enough, so it kind of does get me a little, on edge and anxious. I kind of want the landscapers to go away. I just don't like interpersonal relationships and interacting with people in general. I don't know. Maybe I got PTSD or shell shocked or something like that. I don't know. It really does get me anxious. Loud noises and people screaming and people yelling. I just like I don't like loudness and chaos and drama and insanity. I just don't like it. So. Somebody says, I think people yelling and screaming are normal things to be anxious of. I guess you're right. And, also, people don't like loud noises. It's not peculiar. People just don't like loud noises. It makes people anxious, Yeah, my mother and stepfather were always yelling and shouting, and my father too. And they were always chaotic and just always drama and just high energy. And I just sat alone in my bedroom. They were just screaming and shouting. They were high energy, high emotion, chaos. So I just want peace, quiet, calmness, silence, to be left alone. That's kind of what I learned from it. I hear. Somebody says if somebody isn't anxious from that, I guess they'd be desensitized from too much drama. Yeah, I mean, hey, it is what it is. I don't think my mother was, putting the microscope on me, putting the spotlight on me intentionally. Maybe. I think she was just. That's just her. That's just her nature. That's just her personality. She's high energy. She's anxious herself. She's always talking. She has to gossip about everybody. That's just her. And that's my mother. And she likes to gossip. She likes to talk a lot. She likes to scream a lot. And Jim says she's a typical Long Island broad. She's a typical Long Island lady. She likes to talk a lot. She likes to scream a lot. She likes to yell, and it's just what my mother does. It doesn't mean she's a sadistic monster behind her mask. Cody says, it seems to me like you understand the way people are and why they are the way they are. You just want them to be accountable for their part, but maybe I'm taking it wrong. I think that's a good point, Cody. I just want people to be accountable for their part and what they've done. If they've done something nefarious, I want them to just take accountability for it, and admit, all right, I was wrong here, and own up to it and fess up to it and just tell me the truth, basically. Yeah, I think that's right. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm going to get going here. I appreciate you for having watched here. Cody says, I guess she feels similar to her family. Her family's a similar dynamic. All right, adios, guys. It was a good stream. Peace out. I'll talk to you all again soon, and I'll thank you for watching.